Imagine a shadowy figure, invisible yet omnipresent, who holds an entire nation's food industry hostage. This isn't the plot of a thriller novel, but the real-life drama of the monster with 21 faces, a case that paralyzed Japan and left the world puzzled. As we delve into this chilling saga, remember that behind the mask of anonymity, the monster's actions reverberated through the lives of countless innocents, weaving a tale of fear, intrigue, and mystery. Our story begins on a quiet evening in March 1984, when Katsuhisa Izaki, the CEO of Glico, one of Japan's largest confectionery companies, was forcibly abducted from his home. The kidnappers broke into his house, tying up his wife and daughter, and escaping with Izaki. 3 days of terror ensued for the Izaki family, until Katsuhisa Izaki managed a daring escape from a warehouse where he was held captive. But his release did not put an end to the family's nightmare. It was merely the beginning of a complex web of extortion and psychological warfare. Shortly after Izaki's escape, a mysterious group calling themselves the Monster with 21 Faces began contacting police and media. They demanded a ransom, not just in money, but in public fear. They threatened to poison Glico products and distributed these threats through letters that ridiculed the police and terrified the public. Despite extensive searches, no poison products were found, but the damage was done. Glico's sales plummeted, and the company's reputation faced a severe crisis. The monster was cunning, continually outsmarting the police with false leads and cryptic messages. They seemed to enjoy the chaos they created, shifting their target from Glico to other major food companies like Morinaga, Marudai Ham, and House Foods. The pattern was always the same: threats of poisoning, demands for money, and taunting letters that challenged the police to catch them. The psychological impact of the monster's actions was profound. Companies were forced into costly recalls, and the public was left doubting the safety of everyday food items. The monster's ability to instill fear showcased their understanding of psychological manipulation and the media's power. The case begs the question: were they thrill seekers, corporate saboteurs, or sociopaths? The letters from the monster were not just threats, but psychological ploys. They often contained errors and playful taunts that seemed designed to provoke and confuse. Who were these unseen adversaries? Were they a disgruntled employee, a rival company, or simply criminals enjoying the turmoil? The impact on Japanese society was immense. Trust in domestic products wavered, and the police were criticized for their inability to solve the case. The monster with 21 faces had not just committed a series of crimes. They had shaken the very foundation of public confidence and law enforcement efficacy. As the case wore on, the police became desperate to capture the monster. The pressure was so intense that it led to a tragic outcome. In August 1985, the superintendent of the Shiga Prefecture Police, who was humiliated by his failure to catch the monster, tragically set himself on fire, a stark and grim reflection of the case's pressure. Over the years, numerous theories have surfaced regarding the identity of the monster. Some speculate that the criminals were insiders within the confectionery industry, knowledgeable enough to navigate the corporate landscape and skilled in evading the law. Others believe that an organized crime group, perhaps even the Yakuza, was involved, using the threats as a form of corporate extortion. Another intriguing theory suggests that the monster could have been inspired by Edogawa Rampo's detective novels, particularly the villain from The Fiend with 20 Faces, reflecting a deep-seated fascination with crime fiction. The monster with 21 faces ceased their communication abruptly in 1985, declaring that they had forgiven Glico and would disappear. The case gradually went cold, but remains one of Japan's most baffling and notorious unsolved mysteries. No one was ever arrested, and the true identity of the monster remains unknown. As we conclude this eerie journey through one of the most bizarre chapters in criminal history, we are left to ponder: what drives a person, or a group, to commit such acts of public terror? Was it greed, revenge, or merely the thrill of the chase? And perhaps the most chilling question of all, could the monster with 21 faces still be out there, watching, waiting, and ready to strike again? This case serves as a haunting reminder of the fragility of public safety and the profound impact of psychological crime. The monster with 21 faces is not just a tale of criminality, but a dark fable warning of the chaos that ensues when fear is unleashed. The case of the monster with 21 faces is not just a study in criminal behavior, but a stark exploration of the depths to which human ingenuity can descend when directed towards chaos and fear. As we reflect on this case, we delve deeper into the broader implications, drawing from various theories and pondering the lasting impacts on society and the human psyche. What could possibly motivate an entity like the monster with 21 faces? The psychology of anonymity provides a potent cocktail of empowerment and protection, emboldening individuals to perform acts they would never consider if their identities were at risk. This anonymity not only shielded the perpetrators from legal repercussions, but also allowed them to manipulate public perception and control the narrative. The monster's communications were a psychological weapon as much as they were a tool of extortion, demonstrating a profound understanding of human psychology, specifically the power of fear. These letters, brimming with taunts and threats, were likely designed to instill a sense of omnipotence in the writers while sowing despair and helplessness in their victims and the public. This tactic of psychological warfare disrupted the mundane safety of daily life, transforming every grocery store into a potential minefield. The psychological strain this caused on individuals and families across Japan was immense, with people fearing for the safety of something as simple and essential as their food. While the monster with 21 faces may not have physically harmed individuals, the psychological and financial damage inflicted on the victims, particularly the targeted companies, was severe. Glico, the first and most prominently targeted company, suffered significant financial losses, not only due to decreased sales, but also because of the substantial costs associated with security upgrades and brand rehabilitation efforts. The broader impact on the Japanese food industry was equally severe, with an overall loss of consumer confidence that took years to rebuild. The societal impact extended beyond immediate economic implications. The monster's activities led to a critical examination of corporate practices and security measures across various sectors. It also sparked a national discussion on crisis management and the adequacy of law enforcement techniques in handling cases involving technological manipulation and media exploitation. The inability of the police to capture the monster with 21 faces had a lasting impact on the reputation of law enforcement in Japan. The case highlighted significant gaps in investigative techniques, especially in dealing with crimes that involve psychological manipulation and high-tech communication methods. The public's trust in the police force waned, and the suicide of the Shiga Prefecture police superintendent was a grim testament to the immense pressure and the personal toll exacted by high-profile cases. This failure spurred law enforcement agencies in Japan to improve their methods of dealing with similar threats in the future, leading to advancements in both psychological profiling and cyber investigations. However, the shadow of the monster with 21 faces continues to loom over these improvements, a reminder of the challenge that unseen adversaries pose. Decades later, the monster case continues to intrigue crime analysts and armchair detectives alike. Some theorists posit that the entire ordeal was an inside job, orchestrated by disgruntled employees or competitors within the confectionery industry. Others speculate on the involvement of organized crime syndicates, viewing the ransom demands as a smokescreen for more complex economic sabotage. A more philosophical approach considers the monster's campaign as a dark critique of commercialism and consumer trust, reflecting deeper societal malaises. Whatever the true motive, the fact remains that the monster with 21 faces has become a cultural symbol of the ultimate unsolved crime, embodying the fear that those we trust to protect us are powerless against a sufficiently shadowy and elusive foe. As we conclude our exploration into the abyss that is the monster with 21 faces, we must ask ourselves, what is the cost of safety, and how much of our peace of mind is contingent upon the illusion of security? The monster with 21 faces may never resurface, and their identity may remain forever shrouded in mystery. But the lessons learned from their reign of terror continue to resonate in the corridors of corporate offices and police stations alike. The true horror of the monster with 21 faces lies not just in the crimes themselves, but in the chilling reminder they serve, that beneath the veneer of societal order, chaos is always waiting, just a few anonymous letters away. Are we better prepared today, or could history repeat itself under the watch of a new generation? This lingering question continues to haunt us, a spectral reminder of the delicate balance between security and vulnerability.